Okay, welcome everyone. I'm so excited for this training today. So for anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Adriana and I hope you guys get a lot of value out of this call. Shout out to everybody here dedicated showing up at 9 p.m. on a Friday night. You guys are the real ones. So today we're going to be talking all about social media training. This is not your typical social media training. We're not going over those like basics and stuff like that. You guys have probably seen that all before. Today, we're going to be talking about marketing and how to run your business on social media with intention. That is the key here, right? So if you guys didn't realize already, we live in an e-commerce society with a lot of people taking their businesses online. And we've seen this especially in the last year, right? So with people moving into the online world, with people moving into the world of social selling, the barrier of entry is super, super low to get in, but it takes to have real success in the industry. The barrier is high, right? So we kind of have to show up and bring our A game if we want to see success in our industry, right? The problem is that the cost is thousands, right? So you can no longer afford to market unintentionally and be lazy with your marketing. And that's what we do on social. This is not even just socials, but this is network marketing, right? You need to make sure that you have a network and you need to make sure that you have marketing skills. It doesn't matter how you do it, whether or not you realize this. A lot of people don't realize this. Whether or not you realize you have a brand, right? A lot of people associate certain characteristics, qualities, and habits with you, and that is your brand, whether or not you like it. So you better make sure that you like your brand, right? That's super, super key here. Today, we're going to be talking about building your brand on social media. But in order to have lasting success, you need to learn how to grow an audience and learn how to market to them effectively, right? In today's world, our buyer has access to Google, right? They have access to a vast knowledge source out there. So they can make a second decision on your product, business, or company and make snap judgment before you even have the chance to talk to them. And I'm sure that a lot of us have encountered that in our time in this business, right? They have exposure fatigue. They're constantly being marketed to. They're constantly seeing ads out there everywhere they go. So one thing that you're going to learn today is that you cannot act without first adding value to others. Because we live in an attention economy, and the reality is that if you don't have somebody's attention, you're not going to have their business. So we're going to teach you how to get their attention, how to keep it, and how to get their business. So first and foremost, I want to talk about that you do not need to be an expert at all. There are a lot of people that start this business. This is technically like a social media business. If you want to grow far, right? If you want to travel wide and expand your business, 100% you should be on socials. You don't need social media, but you can touch a lot more lives with social media. So I picked No IG Samara. If you guys don't know her, she's a part of the W5 lifestyle experience. I think her story is so cool because she literally started this business without social media, without followers, and she's literally grown her account to almost 6,000 followers. That's super, super insane, right? So you don't need to be an expert. The confidence is going to come with practice and knowledge, just like everything. You need to celebrate your small wins, right? Follower count doesn't define success. There are people who reach the top of our compensation plan with less than 300 followers, with less than 1,000 followers, right? It's all about how you connect with people. Social media opens so many doors, and I love it when Bianca Abreu talks about this, because she talks to, when she first started, she spoke to her dad, and he was like, what are you doing, right? And she was like, yeah, you can only sell to so many people, but the thing is that I'm running my business on social media. Social media is going to connect me to so many people, and I'm going to be able to impact so many lives. And that's the reality. Social media is a tool, and if you know how to use it correctly, you can truly, truly connect with so many people, right? So you guys have all heard this before. Your bio is your business card, but here's how we're going to tailor it to make sure that it's working effectively for you. So here are the, you want to make sure you have at least 3 lines. Your first line is going to be your mission statement, right? You want to talk about who you're serving, and we're going to go over examples of this specifically. Line 2, you want to establish your credibility. Credibility can be super, super tricky, right? Especially like the timing. Maybe you haven't been in this business super long. Maybe you haven't necessarily achieved what you wanted to. So that I would talk about credibility and authenticity. Like we're gonna talk about it later, but I wouldn't stress too much on that line too. You kind of want to talk about like who your audience is, who you're serving, what you're doing, right? Those content pillars that we talk about. And then line 3 has to be, this is non-negotiable, right? Line 1 and line 3 are non-negotiable. Call to action. People need to be told what to do this day and age. So you want to explain to them what the next steps are. And in these 2 images, we have examples of, you know, the mission statement, the credibility, and the action steps, right? So the first one is helping entrepreneurs build and market profitable brands online. She's a branding and TikTok expert. Her credibility is that she was featured in Self magazine, and then her CTA is learn your brand personality, click the link. The second one is helping dancers to get on their leg while having fun online. He's a former New York City ballet partner, a Broadway dancer and actor, right? His CTA is let's collaborate. 100% make it geared toward you and make it authentic. It does not have to be copycat profile. That's not what we're here to do. We're here to stand out. And you're gonna learn how to do this through niching and branding. So take it away.
Okay, so we are getting into my favorite thing. Niche is like the simplest things. It's who you are, what defines you as a person. Before I get into it, guys, I'm so sorry. My name is Leonella, but you guys can call me Leo, as simple as that. But branding is pretty much just getting to know who yourself is, because a lot of times when we are starting social media, we're like, oh my God, I'm focused on Monet, I'm starting Monet, but Monet is not you. Like Monet already has their 5 pillars of what they're defined by, and this is something that's added to your lifestyle. So one thing that you need to focus on is, who are you? Okay. If you don't know who you are, go ask your friends. Say, hey, what are 5 things that define me? Okay. Because if you're not knowing those things, you're going to go throw everything into the world of social media. And we pretty much call that product puking. You're just not really putting accurate stuff in there. So it's about being intentional. And to give you an idea, my pillars are beauty, wellness, healing, women empowerment, and generational wealth. It's pretty obvious on my page. And if those pillars are not obvious on your feed, you need to go back and reevaluate. Okay. And everything else that you want to talk about, if there is, you know, you like cooking or you like these things very here and there, put it on your IGTV. Do a live, do stories, but do not focus this feed on your page. Like your page should always be defined by those 5 pillars, no matter what. And then the next thing is you, as far as branding, you need to be putting your face and your voice out there. Okay. If you are starting your business and you are screenshotting people's flyers and you're talking about the products that way, you are not going to get any business. Nothing is going to happen in your brand, because people can tell that you're literally not doing the work, that you're just screenshotting somebody else's and posting them up there. It does not matter how you look. I want you guys to know that you need to be putting out your face. When I started my business, I was halfway through growing my hair. I still had some bald spots in some areas. I still had really bad hair. Alejandra knows that. And I was showing up. I showed up no matter what. People saw my excitement. People saw that my hair was growing. People saw that I was doing a different business. I was putting myself out there. I wasn't faking to people that I knew everything that I was doing, but I was saying, hey, I'm starting something new. I want you to be a part of it. I want you to get to know me. Okay. And if you're not talking, you're not putting your voice out there, your audience will not trust you. That is the main thing you need to know. If they cannot relate to you, if you cannot tell a story with emotion, with educational value, they're not going to relate to you. We need to always be having this connection. So how do you get to know yourself too? Okay. And your audience, because now the big question is, okay, you might know your pillars, but do you know who's following you? If your page is not public, it's not business, you need to go make it as soon as possible, because you need to be looking at all of your insights. You need to know if it's women, what age of women, if it's men, what age are they following you? What country are they following you? Are they in different places? For example, with my analytics, I know that I have 60% of women that are my age, but I have 40% of women that are my mom's age. So I have to target skincare for women my age, but skincare for older women as well. So you need to be knowing your audience. And if you don't know what they like, it's as simple as go ask questions on your stories, like ask polls, use the questions, go live, tell them, hey, I want to know what you like about me, and post it out there. And the main thing is you have to stick to your pillars and the things that make you you, because a lot of times when I see when people start the business is people are duplicating other people's personality. Okay, you need to duplicating the system, knowing how to make flyers, know how to make attractive marketing, but do not duplicate other people. Like, you have to be yourself, you have to be authentic, and people can see right through that. If you are pretending to talk like someone else, you're acting like someone else, people can just see it. They'll be like, oh, you know what? It looks really nice, but this is just as similar as Bianca's story. So just kind of remind yourself that. And the main thing is, when we are trying to do a system, remember that the system is already duplicatable. It's more about getting to know your audience, getting to know yourself, and trial and error. Like, a lot of people are scared to fail. You have to try and work with things in your page. You know, start with Rails, start with all these things. You might not know how to make them, but it's just about putting yourself out there. You have to stick with one thing that makes you you, and from there you can branch out. I'm all about nature. I'm all about healing. People know that about my page. And then that gives me the ability to be able to show people about my business or about my product, because it's a clean product. It follows me. It follows who I am. So you guys need to be staying very in who you are. Don't change who you are, and just use the crap out of the value that you already have. Like, Alejandra's a student. She focuses so much on being a student and saying, hey, I can do this while I'm working. I'm a nanny. I focus so much on being a nanny, being out 24 with the kids, being natural, and providing these products for people. So it's all about just getting to know who you are. And the easiest thing is just ask people. Like, if you get stuck in a moment in your page that you're like, I don't know, like, where I'm doing, I don't know if this is my pillars again, then re-ask again and start all over again. And to be honest, guys, don't be afraid to start with a page of 0 followers. This page that you guys see now, I started it last August. I completely deleted my last page because I had issues with it, and I already had a business. So I tell you this because a lot of people are so afraid that they have 200 followers, that they can't do their business. It's an excuse. I literally shut down a page in the middle of the pandemic, in the middle of having a business, and I'm still successful. So I wanted to put you guys out there, and I want to take it and give it over to Alejandra, because now she is going to do our favorite thing, is attractive marketing.
Wait, real quick. So I want to focus on these examples because I put it here, but like obviously I forgot I'm in control of the computer, you guys, so forgive me. So these are like the mission statements, and I'm sorry to put Anna on the spot, but I thought she did such a good job because Leonella just talked about this, right? We really have to focus on like our ideal client and our ideal market partner, because the second that you define them, like you create that avatar, you're gonna start attracting people like that, right? And there's so much power to that. So like, let's say, for example, she has a lot of people who follow people that are her age and people that are her mom's age. But if she's posting before and afters from somebody who's 90 years old, she's not serving her audience. And that's key here, right? So I love these three first, like the one-liners. I help uninspired students ditch standards that's unfulfilling to them. You already know who Alice's audience is, right? Megan, I help burnt out females ditch their job and start a life of freedom. Aspen, I help uninspired women ditch the 9 to 5 that's draining them from corporate burnout, right, to a life of freedom. The key here is like a lot of us focus on industries, right? So like when we talk about those pillars, we're like, oh, I'm into fitness, I'm into interior design, I'm into fashion, I'm into travel, which is super, super great. You're gonna attract people who are also into those things, but there's a lot more power when you like literally niche it down. And instead of saying, oh, I'm into fitness, you can say like, I help postpartum women regain their bodies. That's super, super specific. And you may think that you're doing a disservice by like eliminating people, but the reality is your honing in on what you want, and that's going to open up a huge sea of people for you. Like, I guarantee that there is literally an audience for everybody out there. And Leonella just said that. She's like, don't be afraid to start over, right? Even if it's not working out, like 100% give it time. But even if it's not working out, there's no shame in that, because you can literally always move on to the next thing. So I would definitely put her page on here, because I loved her CTA, level up with me, right? It doesn't have to be like, hit the link in bio. It could be, let's upgrade, level up with me, let's elevate. Like, I freaking love it. So she was just talking about her page, and she's doing really well, guys. Like, and also, like, I don't want, a lot of people focus, she was just saying this, a lot of people focus on like follower count. 9 times out of 10, when you have a smaller follower count, you have higher engagement, which works in your favor. Like, you're in the face of your audience, which is huge. Like, do you know how many people like have like these thousands and thousands of followers, and like half their followers never see their stuff? It doesn't matter if you're posting about your product and nobody sees it, because nobody's ever gonna know what's going on, So 100%, this is a great idea. You do not have to start over. You can definitely work with what you got, but that was amazing that she was able to start over and build from square one, right? But you guys already know, or you should know, for Linktree, Milkshake, whatever, Unfold, Canva, they have all these link apps that you could put all your links in and stuff like that. Make sure everything is centralized, or if you want to, you could keep one link there. It's really up to you. And then, I threw this in here. So SEO is like the Google for Instagram, if you guys don't know. Literally, like, take out your phone right now and take out your name from there. A lot of people like have their names there. If your name fits, great, right? But put something that is gonna allow people to find you, right? So I used to have like beauty guru, but if somebody's not looking for a beauty guru, they're never gonna find me. This is really great. So like, a lot of people have online business mentor, online income mentor, online marketing strategist, right? All these things, whatever is your niche, or whatever your ideal client is gonna be looking for, that's depending on your audience. You want to make sure that that's in there to some degree. Obviously, there are like limited characters in there, but maybe you do it by location, right? Maybe you're in Miami, maybe you're in New York, maybe you're in Toronto, whatever that is, those people from that location, if they're searching it up in here, they're going to find you. And that's super, super key. So make sure you edit that in your bio. Here, I mean, I totally messed up, guys. I should have been clicking through this whole thing. Leonella gave us so many tips for building your brand, literally key. Like, this is literally your weapon, and you need to maximize it to the full, right? If you really want to monetize and you want to go far, you need to maximize it to full. Content creation is both a science and an art. And now, Ale, you can take it.
Oh my God. Okay, so let's start. Let me present myself. My name is Alejandra. I think we're here with people that I know. So nice to see you here on a Friday night. So first of all, when we start attracting people, we need to know, what do we want to give value? Okay, what type of value do we want to give people? So I remember that when I started, I identify a lot with what Leo said, because I wanted to reach everyone. But you know that when you're trying to reach everyone, you're basically reaching nobody. Okay. So first of all, know what is like your brand, know what you want to stand for, and be completely like trustworthy of what you're standing for. Like, you don't have to change anything because people are like, no, that's something that's just for some type of people and whatever. Like, for instance, me, how many doctoral students do you see that have a business? Like, right now I'm in school, and I don't know nobody that does a business while doing a doctoral degree. But what I know is there are people out there in the internet and Instagram that are doing a doctoral degree, I don't know which one, that have a business, and they're looking for me and they're searching for me. And you need to believe that. You need to be sure that you're going to find your type of person, like the type of person that you want to work with, because you know that you're going to be relating with them. Now, who are your followers? you need to know your followers, because your followers are there even before you started your business. For instance, when I started my business, I remember that I had like 500 followers, right? And all those followers were family, friends, people that I knew from college, like people that knew me, right? But they don't know the person that I am becoming. So I need to show them that. I need to show them what I'm doing. I need to show them what I'm building, what I'm interested right now. Like some people sometimes ask me, okay, Alejandra, do you still wear pink? Because I always wear pink. I have pink everywhere. Okay, so that is something that is part of me, and people know me because of that. But not the people that are there's following me now. That is people that has followed me for years. Okay. So what I'm telling you with this is that you need to know your followers. You need to know what they like. Do you need to know what attracts them? Like for instance, the polls, like when you do polls in your stories, for me, stories are like the reality show of Instagram. You tell your everyday life, you basically interact with your audience, but it's not the place for you to sell. Okay. You can talk about a flash sale, you can talk about this, but where you're selling is in your DMs. So you need to attract people to your DMs, and you need to be specific about it. So for instance, if I know I'm a college student, I know that one of our biggest like problems is that we don't have time. Like we make that excuse up because we are not organized, we don't have priorities, we never have time. Okay. So if I'm going to talk to a college student, the first thing that I'm going to bring up is that a girl, I know we don't have time. Like I know it. You already know it. So because you know your followers, right? And you also know the kind of people that you want to work with. Now, how are you relating to them? You need to relate to them. Like sometimes I do reels, like having fun because I'm so stressed out because of finals. I'm so stressed out because of homework and work and whatever. So I do reels related to that, because I know that people is going to engage with me, that people are going to be attracted to what I'm doing, because it's like, okay, so if she's doing it, I can do it also. Now, use trending audio and hashtags in captions. I have like a belief with captions, and is that you need from the first sentence of your caption is the most important one. Okay. That is the one that the people are going to see as soon as they see a reel. Okay. So they see a reel, that is the first thing they're going to be reading. And then the trending audio, I don't know what you're doing with your reels, but if you're not in the trending audio, you can do the most amazing transition, reel, whatever. I have wasted 5 hours in a reel that doesn't go viral. And then I put something stupid up with a viral sound and it goes. And I'm like, what? Like, you need to be aware of this. You need to, oh, yeah, the talk board. That one is good. Yeah. So you can know the songs that are trending in the moment. So you need to go in with the trend. That is something that for me, I don't like being a follower, but when it comes to this, when it comes to content, you need to be like, if you want to get to that skill, you need to start being a follower of the people that have good engagement, that like go viral very, very easily. Like going viral is not something that is hard. It's just trying and trying and trying and putting content out there. Like you need to put content out there. Sometimes people tell me like, no, like 2 posts a week, 3 posts a week. Like when I started like gaining a lot of followers, I was posting even twice a day. Okay. And I'm not telling you to put all that hard work into it. I'm just telling you that if you're going to do it with intention. And that is something I don't think if I think Adi has another slide. But the most important thing when you're attracting is that you need to do it with intention. Okay. Like put your intentions, even your belief. As soon as I post something, I'm like, okay, this is going to go and reach this type of community. This is going to go and reach this type of person. Why? Because I want people that really resonate with me to come to my page. I don't want not like everyone to come to my page. I want people that is going to resonate, that is going to like my content, that is going to have like get value out of it. Now, in attraction marketing, other things that you need to be is vulnerable. Like, I know for everyone, like, nobody's going to tell me now that that is easy, because it's not easy. Like, being vulnerable and like telling people how you feel, telling people what is happening in your life sometimes is very hard. And I'm not telling you that you need to get completely personal with your page, but if you want people to resonate with you and people to like be identified with you, you need to be vulnerable. Okay. And I have like 4 tips that I want to give you here. Like, this system is totally duplicatable. I have seen it. I have gained a lot of market partners with these, not followers, market partners, because this is like the whole scenario. Like, you have a little bit of everything here. So you have a balance. First of all, a post that gives you value. You need to put a post that gives value. Even a recipe is something to give value. Even a motivational quote is something that can give value to people. Even a trick from Amazon with an Amazon, I don't know, thing or whatever, you just buy it. I have one friend that she bought the zippers for the pants, and these zippers are like adjustable or something, and that thing is going viral right now. Why? Because that is valuable for people. People need that. People want something that works for them. So that's the first thing. The second one, personality. If you're someone that is very shy, you can do a reel that is shy. That doesn't matter. You need to show up people who you are, okay? But you know that we're in a sales profession right now, so you need to be loud, okay? I need you to be loud. Loud, 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 loud. And that is something that I learned from Dramus. I don't know if you follow her, but she's also from WFAB. That team, I need to recognize it. They have an amazing, amazing, amazing social attraction. Like, they attract everything. Why? Because they're loud, they're everywhere, everyone knows them because of that. So if you want to like get tips or even examples of posts that you can make, go follow them. Now, vulnerability, sorry. In this kind of post. And first of all, something that I forgot to mention, everything you see here, you can do it as a reel, okay? Everything. And if you know that reels are the thing that are going right now trending, do it. Get out of your comfort zone and start doing things that are going to work for your business. So in the story, you can, I have even and it's not lip singing, it's like, how do you say that? When you're like imitating a voice, that is lip singing. Yeah,
Voiceover.
voice over, thank you,
Lip
that's the
sync is
word.
the same
Yeah,
thing.
thank you, voiceover. So I have found a lot of reels that are from another person's feed, and I take them and I do the voiceover, but I do it with my type of personality, okay? And that changes the whole game. Like, it's so different. People, and I even relate it to my products, or I relate it to the business or to my school or whatever, and it works wonders, okay? So, and the credibility, you can do experiments. I do a lot of experiments in my stories, and I also have done them in my reels. And that last time I posted a experiment from the oil with the oil, like comparing it to another oil, I got 3 VIPs. Okay, so move your ass and start putting reels about products, like products experiment or showing up what the product has. The other person that does this a lot, not experiments, but showcasing the products, is Sarah Hill. So follow her, see all her stories, her reels. Like, she has amazing content. But one of the things that she also, like, she implements a lot is showing her, like, doing reels where she shows how to use the products, like the glossy shine mist, like the dry texturizing spray. People are seeing it, so when people buy it, they already know what they have to do. Okay, so that is very important. And last but not least, mindset. Girls, you're going to rock it with the mindset. First of all, because it's going to help you, and second of all, because it's going to help others. Like, I gotta be real, sometimes when I'm down, I go and look at my reels and I'm like, okay, bitch, I'm gonna get this, and I'm like, it's me, okay, it's me. I don't know if you remember the the reel from I am healthy, I am wealthy, that reel. I when I'm down, I put that thing all over again. Okay. And I listen to it. That's why mindset is so important, because it's not only for them, it's also for you. Okay. So Adri, I don't know if you have had the other one.
I just want to add something real quick because I was somebody who personally, like, I don't like talking, I don't like being vulnerable, right? That's like, it doesn't matter with anybody. It could be somebody like personal to me or whatever. It could be social media. So like my advice that I heard somebody say this recently is talk about your scars and not your scabs. And what that means is like talk about something that you have a little distance from, right? You don't want to be talking about like if you're going through something right now because you haven't even worked through that yourself, right? How are you going to take your followers through that journey? So this, if you think about it, like something like a scab, if you pick at that scab, it's going to start bleeding again, right? So that is one piece of advice. Like if you are like, okay, ask yourself if you even feel comfortable sharing it, but 100%, like that's a good marker. I don't know how to call it, but like a good way to tell if you want to share that or not.
No, and that happens. I also want to add something on that. I remember that in last December and January, I had passed for a very hard depression and a very sad moment in my life. And I was completely normal in social media. Like I didn't show up at that in social media. And sometimes people think that you're always okay, that you're always good, that you're always fine. Why? Because we keep showing up. We're not going to stop showing up because we know that that is our business. And if you don't want to stop showing up, don't do it. But if you know that you need the time and you need the space, do it because it's yours. It's nobody else. It's yours. And when you talk about that, I remember that I posted like this reel and a lot of people like engage with it and they're like, wow, girl, we didn't even knew, like if you haven't posted this, we don't even like notice it. Why? Because people are there watching you, and that is something that you need to know. People are is they're watching you. I have people that don't even follow me that sometimes like engage in my stories and I'm like, what the fuck, like how do you get to my stories if you're not even following me? But that's for you to know that people are really seeing you, or they're seeing you, they're seeing what you're doing. Now, how to serve. Wow, this is so important. Like this is the most important thing in social media. You need to learn how to serve. Even when people, I even engage with other people's stories when I see they're sad, when I see they're happy, when they're celebrating something. I'm like, girl, congrats, happy birthday or happy holidays, whatever. Engage with people because sometimes we think social media is only to sell. And it's not. Like it's more serving than selling. So when you start serving, remember, what value are you putting out? Like what kind of value are you sharing with people? Are you only sharing about Monade or are you also sharing about other stuff? And that other stuff is the one that you can put value on. Now, when it comes to Monade, talk about our gratitude program. Talk about how right now the company is asking us to bring clothes so they can donate in our event. Like, do you know that? Are you sharing that with your social media? Like, you can ask people in your hometown, girl, if you're throwing out your clothes, give it to me. I'm gonna get it to Atlanta. They're going to give it to a shelter, whatever you want to do. And they also have the give a box, I think it is, program where you can give back, and also the TerraCycle. That is also part of gratitude. We're giving back to our planet. We're actually protecting our planet when we're recycling. So that is one of the things that not many people talk about, but it's very important when we're serving. Now, stop trying to grow viral. Work on being vulnerable first. I don't know if you have seen this, but the most viral reels and posts are vulnerable, okay? Are the ones that people are real, are the ones that people say the most uncomfortable things. That those are the ones that go viral, or the funny ones. I have to be honest. The funny ones or the vulnerable ones are the ones that always go viral first. So if there isn't a good reason from them to stay, you will get a view by not a follow. That is also so true. Like a lot of people right now, even when we're expanding, I'm following a lot of people from Spain and Lithuania and everything, and they need to see value in my page for them to stay. Okay, because if you're not giving value from even the first post they see out there in your page, they're not going to follow you back. Okay, and you're not going to be in this game of following people and unfollowing them because they're not following you. No, go and give value and forget about the follow. Okay. And Adri put here are the main reasons someone will follow you. First, they relate to your content. Totally true. You educate them on a topic they find valuable. Even I was seeing the other day, like is an Instagram page. There's a couple Instagram page of things they buy on Amazon. Like they buy things on Amazon and they put reviews on it. Like everything is about that. And that is valuable because I was looking for a machine. I'm like, okay, thank you for the review. So those are things that sometimes we think, nah, but we're not going to care about that. They care. Okay. So put it out there. You entertain them on a topic they find relatable. You solve a problem they are actively working on their life. Like me, I was looking for a review and I found it. You encourage them in a particular area where they are struggling, and that is something that um people right now are using social media as Google. Okay, so I'm like right now I use Instagram as Google. Like even to translate stuff, I use Instagram. Okay, so if you know that people are actively searching for stuff, be aware of what are you standing for. Okay, and that is what Leo was talking about, the brand. So that is the main thing. You have to have that first, and then you can start serving, so you can know what type of people you are serving.
And I wanted to add one thing about what we were talking about, being vulnerable and us having certain times in our life when things are very hard. Last year was very hard for me. I was going through a lot of therapy. I was going through a lot of depression, but I was showing up for my business. And in that moment, I couldn't talk about how vulnerable I was, but I did start sharing it after a couple of months. And I kept on telling people, you guys are seeing me. I still show up to my business every day because there is a goal to be met. And it doesn't matter that even though you're feeling this way, you still have a business, you still have a mindset, you still have somewhere that you're going. But it's just about sharing with people that you're vulnerable, that you're going through things. And I can say that it's been like a year and a half that people follow me from my old page. And like people that follow me now, they trust me. I don't have to come to everybody on my page to say, I can sell you a shampoo, or this is really good for your skin, or this is really good for wellness, because I have created that trust within my audience about just sharing my life, sharing how I've grown up, sharing how I've changed through my business, through my lifestyle, through my eating. So it's all about taking people on a journey with you, because people aren't going to buy from you right away. Even if you contact them, like you have to give people time to build trust. And that's what we talk about, attractive marketing, network marketing, because a lot of people are so fixated in having $1 million in 6 months or in a year. Let's be real. This is a plan that you need to have a 1 year, a 3 year, a 5, and a 10 year. If you are not in that mindset, then your business will not thrive, because there are highs and lows. And you have to remember that if you do not take risk in your business with everything you're doing, being scared, starting new social media, being vulnerable, you will not get any risk back. The people that risk big are the people that win big. So wanted to leave you with that little tip.
Legit, like no risk, no reward. And I just want to make a little comment on the not trying to go viral, work on being valuable first. Remember, this is like the same idea with our VIPs, right? All of us are like, oh, the problem is like I don't have enough followers, I need to be in more faces and then I'll get more clients. You guys, you can sign up as many VIPs you want, but if you don't retain them, it doesn't matter. It's the same idea with the followers, right? So that's the kind of mindset that you have to have. The same way we work on maintaining our VIPs and we have like that loyal customer service to have them coming back for more, we need to dish the same thing out with our followers. And you do that by literally being you, right? We talked about Sarah Hill because like I feel like she is such a great pillar at this. You guys, like she was on a call today and she was like, oh yeah, I have this Febreze on my desk because my dogs keep peeing on my carpets in my office and I don't know why they're doing that. Like I just don't get it. And it's stuff like that. Like remember, you're not a robot. Like you're not like this like stiff person who's just showing up as like a brand model and stuff like that. Like you're a real person. You have to lead with that. Remember that. Like that's literally like one of the top keys in marketing. That's how people relate to you. She was talking about how like she's in the $5 million club. People don't relate to that, right? People don't even think they can make $5 in this business. So you always have to focus when you tell your story. Focus on where you've been, where you are now, what you've accomplished, and where you're going. And that's what people relate to. And Ale talks about this all the time, right? Like she doesn't have her car right now, but she's talking about how she's going to be acting when she gets her car, right? That's what attracts people. She talks about like when she before school, before she started this business, right? How that was for her, how she was looking for an opportunity that she didn't necessarily have to like go and work at this place and show up and take all this time away from her. She can fit this into her schedule as she pleases, which I'm sure a lot of us can relate to, right? It's not ideal to be showing up to 2, 3, 4, 5 different jobs. That's like insane. When are you going to sleep? When are you going to eat? And that's what we need to focus on. Is I feel like sometimes we're so like, you know, when you have a horse has blinders on, right? Like you're headed this way and you're only looking straight. You have to look back to say, okay, where was I when I started this business? What's the reason that I showed up, and be genuine, right? That's where the vulnerability comes in. Admit that you didn't have, like, this is me, but like admit you didn't have $5 for coffee and you were constantly putting it on your credit card. You felt suffocated, right? Admit that you were frustrated, that money put a strain on how you were showing up in your life, on your relationships and stuff like that, because that's what people relate to, right? People don't relate to us saying, oh my God, my side hustle paid for my mani pedi, my side hustle paid for gas today, my side hustle pays for my car, they paid for this flight. Like people don't relate to that. People relate to like, oh my gosh, you know, like I'm able to afford like gas now. Like the little things. You guys kind of get what I'm trying to say, right? So I think we all touched upon this, but like bring your followers along for the journey. And this is key, especially when you start like that first wash, right? The texture, the smell of the products, new market partners, right? We want to you build credibility by like sharing before and afters for customers, but for market partners, for potentials, you build credibility by sharing those stories, whether it's your other business partners, whether you're the upline and you're sharing like, okay, like this is my downline, this is her journey so far, this is how I've helped her grown, you know, that kind of idea. Which leads
Other thing that I wanted to add to that is that I was looking into, I think was last week on Sarah Hill Stories, and she was talking about like she didn't care about how she looked on a reel. And I think when reels started, they were so aesthetic, they were so perfect, like everything cute, makeup on, filters, anything that you needed was there. So when you're thinking about doing a reel or even a post or whatever, don't care about the perfect, like don't care about the aesthetic. That is not trending right now, that is not important right now. You need to show up even with your hair not being I don't know, curled or whatever. Show up, okay? Because if Sarah Hill is doing it and it's working for her, you need to start doing it.
I want to add to that. We're in the era of nature. Like we
Mhm.
have passed the point of plastic. I mean, it's just the truth. And people want to
Exactly.
see natural. So people want to see a face that has a pimple, like it's normal. People want to see hair that's done, that's, you know, maybe a little frizzy. Like I always tell people on my stories when I go on, like, guys, it's not frizz. Like I have hair growth and like I have little hairs that are like always just growing on there. And like I can't do anything about that. I don't care. I show up raw. I tell people like my hair's still growing. So actually take advantage of my products because you'll have fuzz like me. So just be real with people. You need to use a filter, but do the rails, do the stories, stop making excuses. Nothing's perfect. And if you wait for perfect, I promise your business will never take off.
seriously. You guys just reminded me, I don't know like if you guys were on the Real Deal call, but I laughed just thinking about it. I was talking about it today. You guys, Bianca, when she was like, I'm getting diarrhea just thinking about Monations. That's the type of relatability and the type of like human marketing that you need to be thinking of. Obviously, you don't have to show up like that, but it makes me think of her engagement. You know, Bianca has like thousands and thousands of followers. Her freaking thing probably went viral on TikTok or her IGTV, whatever she put up. Like, she's literally doing number 2 on the toilet and she's getting proposed to, you know, like that's relatable. Like nobody shows that side of themselves on socials, which is why I'm saying like it doesn't have to be that extreme. But you just reminded me of that. Like you don't have to be this polished person and stuff like that. Remember, we're humans too. And I don't know if you guys saw her human trafficking. Like she was like, oh, I'm afraid of being human trafficked. I don't like going to the grocery store. That's a real fear people have, you know. Think of stuff like that, whatever it may be, right? I don't know, you just like literally made me laugh bringing that up. So Ali does such a good job at this. I'm gonna throw this back to her. How to sell and close in the DMs, right?
Okay, to tell this sweet and easy. So when you're selling, and I'm talking about the DMs, the most important thing that you need to know is how to get people to your DMs. Okay. So how do I do this? First of all, being relatable. Second of all, social selling, but not everything has to be about money. Okay. So when you're talking, try to do things that people can resonate, as I told you early, but be loud, guys. When you're talking about the products, be loud. And I don't talk about every product. I got to be honest. Like I talk about the products that I like, and that's how it can be loud because I like them. So if I'm talking about the advanced hydrating shampoo, I'm like, I don't use this, okay? So it's not that important to me. So talk about the things that are important to you, and that is going to be a lot more easy. Now, direct people here or to your quiz and then connect with them, okay? How do I do this? A lot of people have engaged with me with the Spain okay, let me show you how I have recruited my team in Spain. So first of all, I have done a lot of marketing when it comes to Spain. I have talked a lot in Spanish. I have talked a lot in flyers and whatever, in lives and IGTVs and reels, in a lot of stuff. So what I do is every time I finish, I tell them, like I direct them, go to the link in my bio, go to the link in my bio, go to the link in my bio, send me a direct message, send me a direct message. I don't stop. Okay. It's like every time, every time, every time, every time. So my last 3 market partners, they went to my bio, they filled up my consultation, and I messaged them, I called them, and it's like, okay, you're ready, right? Because those are people that are already interested, they're ready to go. Okay, they're ready to start your business, they're ready to do whatever it takes to make it happen. And that's what that's what has happened, because they were looking for this. And I didn't have to answer anything, like for real. Like I was like, okay, so you're ready. You tell me that you want to do 5 checks a month. Okay, perfect. Now, what do you need? What questions do you have? No, I don't have any questions. I have seen everything on your IGTV. I have seen everything in your lives. I have seen everything in your stories. And I'm like, oh, okay. So let's sign up. And then if they have another like objection or whatever, I just deal with that objection and I close them up. What I'm telling you is that you need to start getting your content with intention and telling people what to do. Okay, I tell people what to do. I tell them, go to my hair consultation, go to my skin consultation, go to my DMs, go to my quiz, whatever. And that's how you're going to actually find people that are going to be doing business with you. And in the process, that I know that the process is simple, we are the ones that complicate it, you need to add value. Okay, because that is where I gain the trust with them. Because for instance, when I'm doing like the call with them, like, okay, they fill up my quiz, and if you think that getting them to my DM is the hardest, no, the hardest is having the conversation with them for the first time, because you're actually talking to someone that you don't know and you're going to be doing business with them. It's not the same as doing business with your best friend or with, I don't know, a family member or whatever. It's not the same. So since they have been following me and they know that I'm vulnerable in my stories, they know that I'm bringing content, that I'm bringing value, I am the same person with them. I am the same person that is going to talk to them. So I think that since I'm bringing a lot of my personality into my stories, when they talk to me, it's like, wow, I think that I have known you for all my life. Like that happened to me with Leo. Like when we met for the first time, it was like we have met for 10 years. Why? Because we are very true to ourselves when it comes to talking on our social media. If you're pretending to be someone else, this is never going to work for you. Okay. So that is very true.
Alice says something that's so important. So like you guys, like this is social media. You have to use all the features of it, right? When you do that, what you do is you allow your socials to close them so that when they come in your DM, it's already a done deal. And the way that you do this is when you let your socials do the work for you, the way that you do this is by doing those passive IPAs, like the IGTVs, the reels. This is the must-have list, right? But if you think about it, do you have a Smart Start video? Do you have a potentials call on there explaining what the business is, so that you're not constantly doing this, oh yeah, blah, 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 right? You know, like you want people to already have this information that when they pop in your DM, it's literally like, oh yeah, I'm ready to buy the product. Oh yeah, I'm ready to become a market partner. And this is not necessarily an income producing activity, like when you sign them up, like, you know, you're getting that paycheck, but it may not pay you now, but it's gonna pay you later, right? And you're doing all the work up front so that you don't necessarily have to do it later. When that flash sale comes, right, all you're doing is reposting the reel to your story, or doing the link for the swipe up for your IGTV, right? So don't stress about it. This is in the chats, this is in the Facebook, it's here, right? This is a checklist that you want to go through and make sure that you already have this on your page. Obviously intertwined with all the content that we just talked about. It shouldn't be money, 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 right? Here are 10 lessons for rapid growth. This is from an IG expert. If you don't already follow him, definitely follow him. The only thing that I think does not apply to this business is number 8, but I'm going to tweak it, right? So he says, start hiring a team and automating before you feel like you need it. This doesn't apply to us. We don't need to automate our DMs and stuff like that. What you need to do is automate how you respond, right? So when we write to people, make sure you have a keyboard shortcut. When you have hashtags, make sure you have a keyboard shortcut. This, like, I'm talking about iPhones, but when you go in your settings, you can put a word, right? Like how we have OMW for on my way. And when you put in OMW, it automatically populates to on my way. You can personalize those keyboard shortcuts. So that's super important. You can do that for what to say to somebody when they reach out about the products or business. Do you have those customized, personalized messages for when a mom reaches out to you, when a student reaches out to you, when somebody says, hey, I want to know more about the product? Or are you constantly like retyping here for 30 minutes, like what you want to say, being like, oh, I'm not really sure. Literally do the work in advance so that you don't have to do it. So that when you're on the go, you can literally get through your DMs instead of spending 3 hours there, right? Work smarter, not harder. That's essentially what I'm trying to say. And then I added him and somebody else for accounts to follow. He is an IG expert. If you want to learn about how to grow on Instagram and how to bring value as a business to your audience, follow him. He gives up great tips. He keeps you up to date on all like the IG updates and stuff like that. I added Maya Nicole here because she's a market partner and she's done such a great job. I think she grew from like 4K to like 22K or something. I don't know, some ridiculous thing. Like the last month and a half, you know, she's been spitting out reels. She's been putting out a lot of value, and honestly, like you barely see money on her page. She gives a lot of IG value. She has freebies for people if you want an Instagram checklist, what you should have, you know, reels, templates, whatever. Literally, like they can teach you about IG if you still need help and what to focus on that. But we gave, like, I hope you guys got a lot of value from the call, but we gave a lot of value out here today. So remember, nothing matters if you don't apply and execute. That's what all of this is about, right? You guys have anything you want to add before we end? No? All right. So I hope you guys, thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you got a lot of value out of